Hey, welcome back. It's been a while. So, between the last episode and today, we got the Farewell to Arms update, which came out with a ton of new items, 2 new characters, and just a whole lot of extra content for the game. I've been playing a lot of this, not as the robot though, so we've got a whole bunch of new guns to use, new items that are going to make the game a whole lot easier, which makes me feel a little cheap about coming back to this after having done all that, but, you know, it is what it is. It may not make any difference at all, honestly. But yeah, this was the final update for the game. So, no more big content patches or anything like that, or all we're really going to get from here on out are little bug fixes and stuff of that nature. So for all intents and purposes, this is the final version of Enter the Gungeon now. And it's a little bittersweet, honestly. Farewell to Arms added some really great content to the game, but at the same time, I've been playing this for a long time now, and it's a little... I don't know, it's a little weird knowing that this is it. There's never going to be any more big updates to the game, no more real content added or anything like that. Because this game has been evolving for years now. It's been real fun to watch that happen. And just something about knowing that that part of all of this is over is just, I don't know. Like I said, it's a little bittersweet, because I really do love everything that they added with this big update here. So like I was saying, I've been playing a lot of this, but not as the robot. So one of the key features of the update was that they added 2 more characters to the game. One is Paradox, which is just a randomized character. I was really hoping to get through the first floor without taking any damage. But whatever. Anyway, yeah, so Paradox is a randomized character. You start every run with a different starting weapon from one of the existing characters. And then also a randomized item. It could be just about anything in the game. So I've had probably a third of the time it's been some pretty useless item, but I've also had runs where I start out with something like the clone or the black hole gun right off the bat. And it's made for some really interesting runs where you're insanely powerful right at the start of the game. And then you basically just play through it normally as Paradox, except when you beat the High Dragon, it goes to Bullet Hell instead of giving you a pass to beat. And you have to beat the Lich as whatever it is you've created. And once you do, you are immediately thrown into a new run as the Gunslinger, who, if we find the room in here, is the first Gungeoneer that made it through the Gungeon and reached the end. And now he eventually became the Lich that's in control of everything in here, and the final boss of the game. So, you play through as essentially one big time paradox, where you're the Lich from the past, trying to kill your future, and essentially undo all the horrible stuff that's happened in here. So by the end of it, no one will be trapped in the Gungeon anymore. There he is. So that guy in the portrait. And, yeah, if you succeed, you end up in Bullet Hell fighting the Lich and a glitched out Paradox version of the Lich, both at the same time. And while that sounds a little insane for a boss fight, it's made a whole lot easier by the item that the Gunslinger starts out with. So we won't be seeing it in this run since I don't have any intention of fighting the Lich here, but basically if you look at the Lich's actual like in-game model and the artwork and stuff, he has 2 bullets for eyes. These were apparently prosthetics that the gunslinger himself was using before he ever became undead. And what they essentially do is give him every synergy for every weapon that you pick up. So regardless of what other items you might have, when you pick up a new weapon, you automatically get all of the synergies connected to it. So you can essentially go through the early game getting real just basic weapons and immediately turning them into some of the most powerful things in the entire game. Guns like the Phoenix, or I'm trying to think what other ones I've gotten a lot that work out really well. Oh, I want that duct tape. Not gonna be able to get that duct tape. Monster Blood I would normally take, but it's not really gonna do much of anything for me, so we'll just go with another armor and another key. I was really hoping there was something there. There was not. But yeah, it's... what was it? Oh, that's nice. Okay, Cog of Battle's a good one. It essentially gives you Gears of War style active reload that increases the damage of whatever gun you're using if you manage to reload it with the right timing. So, real useful with some of these guns. So let me see, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, so the Phoenix becomes insanely powerful right off the bat. A bunch of other starting, like, not starting guns, but real low-level guns, with all of their synergies included, become insanely useful. Especially right at the start of the game. Okay, I didn't quite get the reload correct. Oh, come on. Alright, this could be going better. But yeah, anyway, you get the idea. So I've been playing with him a lot, and it's led to me pretty much finishing everything in the game aside from, obviously, the robots run. And then I also still have to kill the resourceful rat. I've beaten his first 2 phases a few times, but the punch-out minigame gets me every time. I have yet to be able to finish that. And, yeah, that's pretty much all that's left after we finish off the robot. So, that's about where we're at right now. Ooh, that could be useful. I honestly should probably switch to... Actually, do I even have it? No, I don't think I picked up... Yeah, whatever. These guns will be fine for now. So yeah, anyway, that's where we're at with the game right now. So just the robot and then the rat. And then that's it forever. Shit. But anyway, this game's had a good run. I'm really happy to see what it's become after all this time. I don't know, there's something tough about knowing that this is the end. That said though, I really do want to see what Dodge Roll does next, because they've said it's going to be a completely different game than Gungeon. And, yeah, it should be interesting to see where they go from here. Since, to the best of my knowledge, this is pretty much all they've been working on for years now that's actually, like, seen the light of day. There was no excuse for that just now. And if I end up losing this by one single piece of armor, you'll know exactly what move it was to blame. But we won't worry about that for now. Let's see here. These hearts that would normally be useful, totally useless here. Is this anything? Oh, that could be... Oh, that could actually be really good with the cog. This gun already has a active reload that increases its damage, so combining that with the Cog of Battle, I have no idea if it stacks, but if it does, that could be real powerful. Honestly though, I'm fine with just using this pistol for a while too. Let's give it a shot for the boss anyway. I'll be honest, I don't... No, it looks like he floats right over it. I was gonna say, I don't know if the electricity actually affects him in any way. Looks like it does not. So this is a nice, easy fight, normally. With the exception of occasionally falling into the holes, there's not really much to worry about in here. So, just keep an eye on where you are in the room, and you'll be fine. There we go. All dead. I think I left a few rooms unexplored in here, so let's go just take a look back and see what else is... Yeah, okay. Oh, I left a lot unexplored. Never mind. Not really anything worth having right now. Okay. Nice, easy room. Could always use a few more like that. So, I think last time we did one of these, I was playing on what was essentially just a Smash Brothers controller. It didn't exactly work out the way I'd hoped, so I've instead just taken the Joy-Cons off the Switch and am using them both separately. Since one of them wasn't quite working the way I wanted, I took one of the old ones I had and have just combined it with the left Joy-Con from the current pair that I'm using. So, it's one from the original set that I got and one from the replacement set. I don't know why they seem to break so easily, or not even break, just kind of malfunction so easily. It seems to be dust or something getting stuck underneath the stick. But anyway, oh come on! Yeah, we're just gonna drop whatever the train of thought I was trying to have there. Oh my god! And then I almost fell in a hole after all that too. Great, let's just keep moving. Pretend this isn't going as poorly as it is now. Is dead, so that's fine. It'd be real embarrassing to manage to lose at this point. No, wait. Huh. Alright, now that's gonna be worthwhile. No, we are on the 3rd floor. Why am I thinking we're still on the... Huh. So, paused, came back from pause, and... Yeah, okay. No, that makes sense. Well, anyway, let's just keep going like this. Yeah, so this pistol is doing some really good work, and as long as we keep finding ammo for it, I'm totally comfortable with just using this for the rest of the run, honestly. It's not great against bosses, but for just clearing rooms, this thing is fantastic. Especially with the active reload. Key. There we go. Sure. Okay, good. That was the right one. So yeah, once we manage to beat the past for the robot, I think I'm going to try to make another series of... Well, what's the challenge here? Yeah, alright, why not? But yeah, going to try to make another series of beating the resourceful rat, which who knows how long that could take. What you got for me? Oh, that's not all that useful at all, honestly. Oh, but that is. Okay. Yep, alright, that's good. We can use this. So, for anyone who has played Super Hot before, this is the Super Hot Watch. Makes this game function exactly the same way that Super Hot does. Essentially, anyway, at least. So, time moves normally when you're moving, but as soon as you stop moving, or taking any kind of action, aside from aiming, time stops. And it is a little game-breaking, honestly. I kind of love it. And the fact that we have an active reload item means that we can have a whole lot of fun with slowing down time to a complete stop right as the active reload's occurring. And yet I still managed to screw it up. Great. There we go. Alright, so that is going to make this run so much easier. Unfortunately, this is a gun I absolutely hate. So, I guess that kind of makes up for getting an item that I absolutely love. So yeah, everything's staying nice and balanced here. Let's see. So the last 3 or 4 times that I've played this, the third floor has been the Cannon Balrog every single time. So I'm real curious to see if that keeps up, or if we get someone different for the boss this time around. I'll be honest, I'm getting real sick of fighting him. It's becoming just kind of monotonous, and I think I've done worse and worse every successive time that I've gone up against him. So with any luck, we get someone more interesting. Let's see. As much as I love the Super Hot Watch, I have to admit it does get a little... not confusing, but... okay, nice, not the Cannon Balrog for once. It does get a little... not even sure what the right word really would be. It's a little hard to keep track of occasionally. Like, it'll catch you by surprise when you stop to do something. I can't tell if that actually... I don't remember how many pieces of armor I had before this. That's happened to me so many times in boss fights where I will try to use a blank at the last minute and still get hit anyway, just because I don't do it quite soon enough. I can't tell if that's what happened just now or not, because I don't remember how many pieces of armor I came in here with. Let's just get these and see... okay, let's not get that. Okay, good. Alright. So that did not count as a hit, thankfully. So, still technically perfected that fight. Now we have a... oh, cool. I got the Gemini credits after all. Just had to leave the room. Was all, chest friendship could be useful. So that should get me more chests just from normal rooms. Okay, and we're back. So yeah, forget what it was I was talking about before we paused there to change floor. Oh, this little turtle guy. So he is a very helpful little companion that you can get. He will just run around the room and shoot people for you. So if you can find a good spot to hide in the room, he will do all the work for you. Albeit a little slowly. His gun doesn't do a ton of damage. But he will actively seek out enemies, which is more than a lot of the companions do in this. Speaking of which, okay. So, oh, alright. I kind of hate these rooms because I can never tell when they're actually finished. Those little guys will just keep okay. It's gonna be real embarrassing if I manage to screw this up with time stop. Oh, this is gonna suck. Yep, amazing. Alright. Might as well have just used a blank there. Oh, just pretend that room didn't happen just now. But yeah, anyway, this little turtle guy really shines if you can get some kind of item that boosts the power of your pets or companions or anything. Something like the battle standard, or the... I forget what the new item's called, but there's a loot that you can get. Like the instrument. And it powers up any minions that you have. So see, he can do some decent damage when he wants to. Ooh, that could be useful. So I want to keep the balloon for boss fights, but pretty much everything else here we can just use up as needed in the normal rooms. One of the biggest problems I've always had with this game is I try to conserve ammo in all of my guns for the boss fight, and it usually leads to me dying before I ever reach the boss. So the biggest piece of advice I could give people for this, if you're just starting out, find one gun that you really want to use against the boss, something that deals a lot of damage or just is best suited for fighting a single enemy for a really long time. And save the ammo for that, but don't be too conservative. Don't be too conservative with the ammo on the rest of your guns. I'm one of those kind of people who, when they're playing like RPG or anything where you have the option to use items, I typically just save them because I assume I'll need them for a big fight somewhere along the line, and I'm always afraid to actually put them to use before something like that shows up. So I'll usually finish the game with just a ton of items that never got used. You don't want to go through this game doing that. It'll basically usually just lead to you getting killed before you ever get to a big fight, and this is way out of our price range. That is the ring that you get for beating the initial phases of the Resourceful Rat fight. From what I understand of it, I have yet to actually use it, but as far as I can tell, it makes... I forget if it's the rat just doesn't show up to steal your items anymore, or it's if when he steals up, or when he shows up, he'll steal the item but replace it with something better. I can't quite remember which it is now, and I have yet to actually use it in the game because it's always more expensive than whatever I have on hand when it shows up. So yeah, I have to get better about conserving money and not ammo. So that'll be something to work on in future runs. You're not going to worry about it too much here. Diazepam, not going to be too useful for this, but who knows, maybe we'll get a rifle or something that it'll boost the power of. Actually, it might boost the power of the balloon gun, but I don't know for sure. I don't know if that counts as an actual rifle or not. No, either way, it's there. So, we'll be using that against bosses, so if it does work, great. If not, it is what it is. I'm going to leave that chest back there until I find out what the other chest in this floor is. I may want to save this key for whatever the normal, regularly spawning chest is, just in case. If not, I'll come back and unlock that one. And who knows, one of these rooms might drop another key for me somewhere along the line. Ugh. Sorry, it's like 2 a.m. here right now. I just couldn't sleep, so I figured I'd record another episode. I really like this gun, mostly for the sound it makes, but it's not insanely useful this far in. Without its synergies, it kind of has a big fall off in terms of power and usefulness once you get to this floor and beyond it. Alright, so 4 armor. We can... Oh yeah, you know what, with time stop we can make it through this one nice and easily. Still going to use up a blank. I'll probably... You know, just so I don't waste it, I will find a spot to use the other blank as well, since I'd much rather just use that up here and now instead of having it at the end and accidentally getting hit by something stupid. That said, this gun is just burning this boss down insanely quickly, so we'll just use that now, get rid of it, and finish the fight without getting hit. Alright, so this is going well, all things considered. Oh, there's a strategy. Purple elephants. And with bouncing bullets, that's going to be pretty useful, honestly. That's one of the new things they added. And we are back. Feed cut off a little quick there, a little sooner than I meant for it to. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what we were talking about at the end and what part got cut off, so we're just gonna keep going as if that didn't happen. There is something real weird going on with my recording software right now, where it has threatened to just stop altogether at certain points during this. So cutting this together at the end is going to be a little weird, but it should be fine. Hopefully. It'll probably be fine. Anyway, we're in the last actual floor here. All we have to do is beat the dragon and be sure to pick up the bullet that can kill the past. Because I have had a few runs with other characters where I've just completely forgotten to pick up the bullet, made it to the end, and have not had a bullet to put in the gun. Absolutely hate this guy. But time stop should make this considerably easier. That said, I should honestly probably switch to a weapon that's a little faster. I don't want to use up the balloon gun here, since there's no real guarantee of getting more ammo after this. The Forge Master usually has something in her shop, but I don't know. I don't want to depend on that. Oh, I screwed up the timing on that, even with time stop. Kinda wish I could see how much health this guy had. Yeah, okay, guess it didn't matter. Let's see, anything useful here? Let's just top that off. Ah, one amazing chest. So helpful. We can probably just use this up. I don't expect to need it for the boss fight or anything. So we'll just use that to clear these rooms out instead. Gotta remember to record the next one of these earlier. With any luck, there won't be another one of these robot runs, but if that's the case, then we'll start on the resourceful rat one instead. At which point I want to do these when I am much less tired. Good dead. Unfortunately, this is... well, not unfortunately. This is actually exactly what I want, where it's nothing particularly difficult being thrown at us, but at the same time it unfortunately makes for less interesting content as far as what you're seeing here, since there's not a whole lot of challenge going on right now, thankfully. Just break that chest now, or wait. Now we might get a key later on, might as well wait. But, yeah. Yeah, sure. Well, that's what I get for saying this wasn't going very challengingly. Alright, let's see about finding that smith and getting the bullet. And that's the end of that. So like I said, I'm not too worried about using up the ammo in these guns, since I'm kind of counting on the balloon to save me. It can absolutely tear apart bosses, as it... I can't tell if it actually ignores the damage cap on bosses, or if it just happens to be powerful enough that it seems like it does. I know things like the Yari launcher just completely ignore the damage cap, where that is essentially a mechanic where you can only inflict so much damage on the boss every second or so. Wow, this is going bad all of a sudden. But yeah, there are a few guns in the game that just completely ignore that damage cap, and I don't know if the balloon gun is one of them, but it sure seems to do a good job just ripping apart bosses. Is this seriously how this is gonna end? We're so close. Very much big uses. Oh. Huh. You know what? Use that. So normally I would prefer to get those early in a run, since they give you an extra piece of armor every floor. But since we are desperate right now, we can just use that as emergency armor right here and now. Yes, well, now we just need a little bit more cash to get the other one. Okay. Once he dies, that will be enough. Perfect. No, even more than expected, actually. More perfect. There we go. I'm sure 3 armor will be plenty. Ugh. This is gonna go real bad, real fast. But, if nothing else, we've got time stop to make this a little simpler. Alright. Let's do this. Ancient and venerable. Alright, so that's the typical amount of damage you can expect to inflict on him. This is how much damage this gun does. I guess it's actually not that much more now that I'm really looking at it, but the constant hits from it sure seem to add up pretty nicely. embarrassing if I still manage to get hit even with time stuff going. Ooh, yep, there it is. Oh, and that was all my ammo. Okay, well, that's what I get for relying on a gun that loses all its ammo if you get hit with it out. I don't know why I'm putting the water down. I don't think it actually damages him, but whatever, it's making me feel better about this. Okay. Alright, hard part's done. Now for the easy stage. I'm gonna be real mad if we've made it this far only to die on the easiest part of this fight now. But unfortunately, that's lagging out a little. Oh boy. That could be better. Okay. There we go. So like I said, having, oh no. It becomes a little confusing as to whether the game is lagging or not, thanks to Super Hot Watch. Because some of this is actual lag, and some of it is the time stop occurring. And I'm not sure where one starts and the other end, and there we go. Okay. Alright. Finally did it. There is part of the unlock. There should be another one once we actually beat the past. I almost went to the past just now without remembering the bullet. Whack. Just like I said not to do. So, for future reference, you should always do that first, just so you don't make that mistake. But whatever, it's fine. Alright, so, this should be about it. Gotta remember not to fall into bullet hell here. And we are back. Let's finish this up. Alright, so now we just shoot ourselves in the face like any good hero would. And we hope for the best with this past, which I still have yet to see, so not entirely sure what to expect. I just know that the idea behind it is that we are ending humanity. Hence the name of this series. I'm assuming it's going to be a Terminator reference, but I could always be wrong about that. They've thrown some curveballs in the past, but that sure, yeah, this sure looks Terminator-esque. Emperor is eager to begin. Please proceed. Please proceed. Ah, my finest warrior. Ye who have put to slaughter more humans than any other of our kind have earned the highest honor. We have captured the leader of the human resistance, the last hope for humanity, and it is he who shall crush her and finally put an end to this insignificant rebellion. Now, disassemble her. Alright, so, if I had to guess, this is probably going to be Sarah Connor or some version of her or something. No, there's some binary on the wall. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look that up later. 1011000011 something. Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, that's probably supposed to be Sarah Connor. Oh, okay, I like what I'm seeing here with this gun. I totally missed what this thing was called. That's kind of cool that they give you a totally different weapon to use for this. I was expecting to just have to use robot's right hand still. Ooh, this is not going as fast as I thought it would. I figured I'd be burning her down a lot easier than this. Oh, and there we go. Alright, now the bits are gonna start. Shit. Okay, she's got grenades, minions. More grenades, more minions. Spreads of bullets, poison. The little wave-based burst that we saw back there a ways. Alright, this is not so bad. Got 3 hits left. There we go. Most of this is easy enough to dodge at least. Yep, okay. Alright, well. Stupid grenade. Oh, there are some ammo pickups laying around somewhere. Kill these animals for ammo or anything. Shit. Oh, come on. No! Oh, God, I could probably have switched to... Bet we still have the robot's right hand. Yep. Fuck!